Welcome back to my channel. Most guys think if a woman pulls away, she's lost interest. But here's the twist. Sometimes that's when she's feeling the most attraction. Sunskin fuzzing. That's because emotions aren't always logical. When feelings get intense, some women panic. Vulnerability kicks in and pulling back becomes a defense move. It's not rejection, it's ageist. She wants to see how you react. Stay grounded. Don't chase. Understand the game. And you keep her respect and her interest. One reason she pulls away is because she thinks you're too good for her. No, that might sound strange at first. But sometimes a woman will distance herself not because she doesn't like you, but because deep down she believes she can't reach your level. And no, this isn't just about looks or money. It's about how she perceives your overall value. It could be your confidence, your lifestyle, how you carry yourself, or the way others respect you. If she feels she can't match what you bring to the table, her instinct might be to pull away before things get too serious. And that instinct often comes from a place of insecurity. When someone believes they're not enough for you, being close to you starts to feel dangerous. She might think, if I fall for him, he'll eventually realize he can do better and leave me. So instead of risking that kind of emotional pain, and she creates space first. Here's how it often plays out. You meet a woman and things click. The chemistry is real, the connection feels effortless. You're both into it. But as the emotional intensity starts to grow, she begins to change. She's suddenly less available. Texts slow down. She cancels plans and her energy fades. You're left confused, wondering what went wrong later. Maybe you heard through mutual friends that she said something like, "He's amazing, ... I just don't think I'm his type long term." That's her way of justifying her distance, not to you, but to herself, because it's not about attraction, it's about protection. She's trying to avoid a heartbreak that hasn't even happened yet. And for you, that can be incredibly frustrating. Your natural response might be to comfort her, reassure her, tell her she is enough. But here's the hard truth. If she doesn't believe it herself, nothing you say will fix it. Confidence and self-worth are internal battles, and they're hers to fight. Note yours. The more you try to prove your feelings, the more you risk draining yourself in the process. Instead of chasing her harder, when she starts to topple away, your best move is to stay grounded, keep your standards high, stay consistent and resist the urge to prove anything. If she works through her doubts and sees her own worth, she'll come back in her own terms. If she doesn't, trying to convince her will only wear you down. Because real attraction thrives when both people feel worthy of each other. And if she's already decided you're out of her league, the problem isn't you, it's how she sees herself. Until that changes, the distance will remain. 2. She's testing your stability. As attraction builds, so does curiosity. And for many women, that curiosity isn't just about who you are when things are good, but who you are when things get uncertain. This isn't always a conscious game, but it's a real pattern in relationships. She's looking for emotional stability. Can you stay calm when she pulls away a little? Can you remain confident when plans shift or communication slows down? To her, stability ain't just about money or success. It's about how grounded you are in yourself, how you react when she's distant. Whether your interest in her depends on how available she is. She's paying attention not to your words, but to your emotional responses. If you stay cool, steady, and composed, you're showing her that your identity doesn't rely on her approval. But if you panic, over-pursue, or get reactive, it sends shoppers a message that you're thrown off. And from her point of view, that's a red flag, because whether she realizes it or not, she's wondering something important. Can I trust him to be the same man even when things aren't easy? This kind of testing often comes in the form of mixed signals. One week she's warm and engaging, the next she's distant and vague. Most men assume that means she's lost interest, but often it's her way of watching how you carry yourself through the uncertainty. Your job isn't to pass some secret test by analyzing every move she makes. It's to keep being the man you've always been. Stay focused. Stay steady. Let her see that you don't chase validation. You offer stability. Because the more secure you are in yourself, the less she feels need to keep testing. 3. She's overthinking her feelings. Attraction feels amazing. But for some women, it also triggers over, especially for women who are used to being emotionally in control. When she starts to feel something real, her mind may go into overdrive. Why am I feeling this so soon? Does he feel the same? What if I get hurt again? Even if everything's going well between you, she may begin to hesitate, not because of something you did, but because her feelings are getting serious. This hesitation often looks like pulling back, less communication, delayed responses, subtle changes in energy. And for you, it might feel like she's backing off just as things were starting to get good. But there's what's really going on. She's trying to slow things down to feel safer. She's trying to think through something that's emotional, and that rarely works. Still, for many women, that pause helps them feel more in control. It's not rejection, it's reflection. And it's not always just her own thoughts. She's battling friends, past heartbreaks, even cultural expectations. All of that can get in her head. She might want to be close to you, but that voice in her mind keeps whispering, what if this ends badly? For men, this can be one of the most confusing moments. You're ready to move forward, but she's stuck in analysis mode. And here's the mistake a lot of guys make. They try to pressure her for answers. They push for clarity. They want her to decide. But pressure only adds to the emotional noise she's already dealing with. Instead, the smartest move is to stay consistent, keep your energy calm and your life moving forward. Let her see that you're not shaken by her need for space. That kind of steadiness is rare and it's incredibly attractive. Remember, if she's overthinking, that means she still cares. She's emotionally invested and not to worry about the outcome. She's just struggling to quiet her doubts. Your role isn't to fix that for her. It's to give her the space to work through it herself. That doesn't mean waiting forever, but it does mean being patient enough to let her feelings catch up to the connection you've already built. Because when a woman feels emotionally safe, her guard comes down, her clarity returns, and the bond gets stronger. Forces still attached to someone else. Sometimes a woman will pull away not because of anything you've done wrong, but because a part of her still hasn't let go of someone from her past. It could be an ex, someone she almost dated, or even a relationship that ended years ago, but still lingers in her emotions. When she's still emotionally attached to someone else, it becomes less difficult for her to fully invest in a new connection. Even one she genuinely wants, you might excite her, inspire her, and make her feel things she hasn't felt in a long time. But if her heart is still comparing, remembering, or wondering about someone else, it creates hesitation. Now, this doesn't always mean she wants to go back to that person, but the emotional residue still affects how she connects with you, and most of the time, she won't talk about it directly. She may not even fully realize how much her past is influencing her present. You'll see it in subtle ways like sudden mood swings, hesitation to commit, or pulling back just as things are getting serious. For many women, emotional detachment takes longer than physical separation. Even if she's no longer seeing that person, the patterns, the memories, and the unresolved feelings can still be alive beneath the surface. And here's the hard truth. You can't compete with a memory. Being with you might trigger both excitement and guilt. Excitement because she feels something real. Guilt because deep down she knows she can't give 100% of herself. Not yet. That emotional split creates a disconnect. And no matter how patient, present, or supportive you are, you can't fix that. For her, your role is to recognize it for what it is. Her hesitation isn't necessarily a rejection of you. It's a sign that she still has emotional work to do. The more you chase, the more drained you'll feel because part of her attention is still stuck in a past story. Patience is noble, but it has its limits. While it's normal for someone to carry a past, it's not your job to wait around while she keeps one foot in it. If she hasn't closed that chapter, you can begin a new one with her. Real connection requires presence. And if her heart is still elsewhere, no matter how strong the chemistry is, the relationship will always feel unbalanced. 5. Pressure from friends or family. Attraction doesn't exist in a bubble. Even when a woman feels strongly drawn to you, outside influences, especially from people she trusts, can affect how she acts. Friends, family, cultural expectations, these voices don't always come from a bad place, but they can add noise to an otherwise clear connection. For some women, approval from their social circle matters a lot. They want their partner to fit the mold that others have envisioned for them. That mold could be based on status, background, career, even personality traits. If you don't check every box in their imagined checklist, she might start to feel torn. She may like you deeply in private, but hesitate to fully embrace you in public. Her friends might say things like, "Are you sure he's the right type?" Or her family might question your goals, background, or lifestyle, and those comments, while casual, can plant doubt. Think of the movie Titanic. Rose clearly loves Jack, but the social pressure from her wealthy family and friends creates a powerful internal conflict. The attraction is real, but so is the fear of judgment on real life. This shows up as distance. She might suddenly become more reserved, less affectionate, or even defensive about your relationship, not because she's lost interest, but because she's trying to avoid conflict. She may be trying to maintain peace with the people around her, even if it means sacrificing emotional truth. As a man, it's important not to take this personally. This isn't necessarily about your value. It's about the tension she's feeling between her heart and her environment. But here's where many men go wrong. They try to fight those outside opinions. They argue, they confront, they try to prove they're good enough. But don't that only adds more pressure? It makes her feel like she has to choose, and the choice can become overwhelming. The smart approach is this: stay grounded. Stay consistent. Don't twist yourself to fit someone else's mold. Show up as you are unapologetically, because if she's strong enough to prioritize their own feelings, she'll choose you despite half noise. And if she's not, then she's not ready for a relationship that challenges her comfort zone. True attraction, the kind that lasts, thrives when both people can stand firm in their decision even when others don't. Understand it. If your connection can't survive outside pressure, then it was never built on solid ground to begin with. 6. She's avoiding emotional exposure. Sometimes the scariest part of attraction isn't rejection, it's being truly seen. For some women, deep emotional connection brings vulnerability, and with vulnerability comes the risk of pain. That's why she might pull away right when things start to feel the most real. Not because she's losing interest, but because letting you in feels too raw. Emotional exposure isn't just about sharing past trauma or secrets. It's about allowing someone to see the unedited version of her fears, her insecurities, her doubts. And for someone who's used to guarding herself, that kind of openness can feel overwhelming. This instinct to pull back often comes from past experiences. Maybe she's been open before and got hurt, judged, or abandoned in return. So now, even when the attraction is real, her brain says, "Don't get too close. Don't let him see all of you." It's not that she doesn't care. It's that caring too much feels dangerous. For some, it's also tied to image. A lot of people, men and women, carry around a curated version of themselves. It's the version that looks confident, put together, always in control. Letting someone get close threatens that image. Because what if the real version, the messy, emotional, imperfect side, isn't accepted? So, what happens? You see moments where she's fully present, laughing, connecting, showing you real emotion. Then suddenly she goes cold, becomes distant or acts like nothing ever happened, and you're left wondering what just changed. What changed is that she started to feel seen. And for someone with strong emotional walls, that's both exhilarating and terrifying. Now, here's where a lot of men get it wrong. They try to fix it by chasing harder, asking for reassurance, or demanding deeper conversations. But pressure never breaks down walls, it just reinforces them. The more she feels pushed, the more she retreats. The smarter move is to stay grounded. Be calm, be consistent. Let her see that you're emotionally safe, not just with your words, but with your actions. When she senses that she won't be judged, rushed, or manipulated, those walls start to come down on her terms. But there's the key: your patience shouldn't be endless. If time goes by and she's still keeping you at arm's length, still hiding behind the curated version of herself, the relationship will stay surface level, no matter how strong the attraction is. You'll never feel truly connected because real intimacy, that kind that lasts, requires emotional presence from both people. And if she can show you who she really is beyond the highlight reel, she's not truly letting you in. Attraction might begin with chemistry and mystery ... but deep connection only grows through vulnerability and truth. And if emotional exposure is something she constantly avoids, the bond you're building will always hit a ceiling. 7. She's seeing if you'll chase. Not every woman pulls away because she's losing interest. Sometimes it pulls away because she wants to see what you'll do. This isn't always manipulative. Sometimes it's unconscious. Sometimes it's curiosity. But the effect is the same. She creates distance and watches how you respond. In her mind, it becomes a silent test. Will you notice? Will you reach out more? Will you work harder to win her back? Some women believe that making you chase increases attraction because it forces you to prove your value and investment. But here's where a lot of men slip up. The moment she steps back, they start running forward. They double text. They drop their plans. They give more energy than ever just to gather's back. And what does that actually communicate? That her distance controls you. That your emotions rise and fall based on her approval. It might feel romantic in the moment, but in reality flips the power dynamic. And once that happens, she often loses respect, not because you showed interest, but because you lost balance. Here's what most men get wrong. They treat her pulling away like a call to arms, a moment to prove it themselves. But genuine attraction doesn't need a constant test to survive. Someone who truly wants you meets your halfway without needing to be chased. Convinced, pursuit at 110%. So if you sense that she's stepping back to see if you'll chase, pause and reflect. Are you acting out of fear of losing her? Are you mistaking her pullback as a challenge to work harder? Or are you grounded enough to recognize when to stop pouring energy into a dynamic that isn't mutual? Because chasing endless light teaches her one thing, that the less she gives, the more you'll offer. But holding your ground teaches her something very different. That connection only thrives when both people are showing up. This doesn't mean being cold or detached. It means having standards. It means if she steps back, you don't sprint forward. You maintain your pace. You stay open, but not over exposed. Because if you keep rewarding distance with more effort, you train her to disengage. But if you remain steady, confident in your value, she's the one who has to decide whether she wants to step toward you, and if shadow isn't. That's your answer. And trust me, it's better to know that now than to spend weeks, months, even years in a cycle of chasing someone who was never ready to meet you halfway. This isn't about blaming women. It's about understanding what's really going on so you can respond with clarity, not confusion. Because once you start recognizing the patterns, you start personalizing the pullback, and you start protecting your peace. Here's something to sit with. If you always shave to fight to keep her close, she was never truly there to begin with. That's a hard truth, but an important one, because attraction might start with chemistry, but it only lasts when both people are emotionally present. Your role is not to fix a dot, not to chase her. It's to stand steady, to move with confidence, and to let her show through action whether she's willing to meet you. So, here's what I want you to reflect on. Are you reacting out of fear or responding from self-worth? That single decision will shape everything. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever had a woman pulled back just when things seemed the best? What did you do? Drop your story in the comments. I read Ryan because this isn't just a video, it's a conversation. And next time it happens, you'll know exactly how to handle.